Good morning. This is the Morning Rant, and I'm your host, JahLogic. I'm going to bring in my co-host, J.Doug. What's good, player?
It's all good in the neighborhood, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Good to hear that. Vanessa Smilez.
Good morning. Good morning. Living great.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. And Schoolboy.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
All is well. All is well.
Nice.
So, yeah, we got a lot to get into. We promise you a Corona update, but we also have other shit to get at as well, how we do. You should know the Morning Rant gives you current and sometimes not so current news, but we help you come to a conclusion. So that's what we do here at the Morning Rant. We want to thank everybody checking in on Facebook as well as YouTube at the Union. Yeah, so J.Doug, really?
Yes, sir.
You had a show last night called Live and On Point.
Yes.
Funny show, very informative. Can you tell us a little bit about what you spoke about last night?
Last night we talked about Kanye West, of course, his presidential election race and all the dust he's been kicking up. We talked about Andrew Gillum, Tamar Braxton, some stuff we're gonna talk about today on the show today.
Right.
So we got into an array of things last night. I think our main thing was the Kanye and the Andrew Gillum thing.
Kanye and Andrew Gillum. All right, so let's start with it. Let's get to Andrew Gillum. I'm sorry, Kanye, because that's somewhat of a update for us, right? So we already spoke about Kanye, his first rally yesterday. So what we're going to get into today is we're going to talk about Kanye's, I guess, crazy ass rants, right? He was going on a rant on Twitter, and he said a bunch of crazy things, and he took down the post, but at the same time they're spread all over the internet on different websites. And some of the things he talked about in his Twitter rants was, I put my life on the line for my children, that North's mother would never sell her sex rape. I think he meant tape. Or maybe he didn't. He also said, everyone knows the movie Get Out was about me. And he also says that, I'm paraphrasing, but something to the effect of he was trying to he was trying to get a divorce since something about the hotel he met her in when he was with Meek Mills or something like that, something or the other. Can you give us an update on that? I don't know what he's talking about, J.
Well, Kanye West,
our resident expert of the dumb shit. Can we get
Kanye West, he's sending out all these erratic tweets and just going along with the fact that everybody think he's crazy, busting out crying at these rallies. And I'm just wondering, why is Kanye West only crazy when it's time for an album to drop? Like, when there ain't no album dropping, he quiet, he making his shoes, he take a couple magazine photos, but when he's trying to drop an album, he just go extra hard on the crazy. So I'm not buying this Kanye West, I'm crazy. Look at me, y'all, I'm crazy. I ain't buying all that. I don't even think Kim and his mother, he trying to say they mother trying to lock him up and put him
right. So he said something about like the movie Get Out was based on and she's trying to lock him up.
Man, Kanye West been doing stuff like this for at least the last 5 years. If they wanted to, they already know as soon as he come out, he doing something crazy. I don't think they're surprised. I don't think it's no surprise to them. And I'm think he's doing exactly what they want him to do. They send that nigga out once a year, like, yo, get out there and go get your fucking name popping, nigga. Yes. And I think that's just what it is.
So basically, you think it's a stunt?
Yeah, it's like, come on, y'all gonna fall for this once a year, every year. Kanye West come out, hop on the table, come out, say something about slavery. It's like, black people, y'all fall. It's like, if this what I got to do to go viral, say something outrageous about slavery, jump on a couple tables, go against everything that black people stand for, and y'all gonna give it the attention, it's gonna work every time. He gonna do it every time until it don't work. And I think it's genius.
I think that he out here really I think Kanye is really out here crying for help. Like I really think,
What?
yes, he is. He's being held captive,
Are
and
you serious?
yes, and ever since Kanye has gotten with the Kardashians, he's been off, completely off. Several times Kanye has been quote unquote admitted for mental illnesses and all kinds of stuff. And you got to think about it. When Kanye first came out, he was already an outspoken person. This is not something brand new or different that he's doing. He's been saying wild, crazy stuff since he came out. And one of the tweets that he tweeted, but then he deleted yesterday, he said that Kim tried to bring a doctor to lock me up with a doctor. He tweeted. I believe that wholeheartedly. There were several times that Kanye West was, allegedly having a mental disease or anything like that, but no one really went into the depths of why he had a mental disease or what hospital he went to or anything like that. Kanye just goes away for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and then he just comes back. Even there was a certain point in time where Kanye's voice had changed when he got with the Kardashians. So there's a lot of things that I feel like that are unseen and that people are not talking about. And I think his little spurts that he's giving us now, he's really crying out for help.
Hey, and I like to say I don't find that Kim Kardashian trying to get a doctor to come lock me up weird, because that's how white people move if they think it's something going on with you mentally. See, black people, we just let you run around crazy. You're like, yo, get your crazy ass out my damn face. Bye. See, we be in the house, you just be crazy around us. But white people gonna try to get the doctors and try to see if you need some help. But they need the Kardashians probably just trying to get used to this black crazy. That's an interracial family, the Belinda. So they have to learn that different type of crazies. You know what I mean? They ain't called a doctor when her and Courtney was in there fighting, acting a damn fool.
They
you didn't
did
call
not.
the doctor then, because that was white crazy. There was no big deal. They don't call the crazy doctor on Rob Kardashian fat ass. They didn't call the crazy doctor on Caitlyn Jenner. So why the fuck y'all want to call the crazy doctor on Kanye? Come on now. So they just understand that white crazy. They don't understand that black, outspoken, radical crazy. That's it.
This is why Lamar is out of here. Lamar was just like, oh, absolutely not. Y'all will not.
No, that nigga Lamar was snorting up all the money. See, they not finna let you take them down on that, with that black junkie shit. They not gonna let you take the family down like that. No.
My fault. Go ahead, Vanessa.
They not finna be an episode of Unsung. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and he just got that, he got that effort in his system. He got that shit where he just like, no, I'm out of here. Because I'm sure that they could have kept that under wraps. I mean, allegedly, Scott has been on that same bump team for years with him. So Lamar wasn't over there doing that stuff by himself. He just probably started to see the controller stuff.
Chloe and them was doing it with her, but it's just
Chloe's
like
a rider.
That nigga. They came home and that nigga done snorted up all the shit. They say, let's get this nigga up out of here because he gonna snort us out of the house and all. He gonna put this nigga back in the field where he can snort all he want and get this nigga up out the house. He ain't no house nigga. This nigga don't got no type of coke etiquette or nothing. Nah, let's get him up out of here.
He don't share.
Nah, this
he don't bring his own.
No coke etiquette.
The homie Mike says you got to decipher what Kanye is saying. He be making some sense.
Facts.
And I was telling you, the thing about Harriet Tubman didn't actually free the slave. This what tripped me up about black people. Black people always talk about, oh, we still ain't free. We still in slavery. But then you'll turn around and say, Harriet Tubman did free the slaves. Either you free or you're not free. That's what you got to figure out first. Oh, we still in mental slavery. So Harriet Tubman didn't free your ass. She just sent you to work for white people. What you mad about working for white people?
I don't think that was his context, but at the same time, I'm not going to defend his context. But what I'm saying is, with your analogy, you're bringing up semantics, what they call semantics. I mean, I said semantics, right? So basically, free the slaves. She never was claimed to had freed all people who were enslaved. She just freed some people from slavery. So, I mean, but we haven't let Schoolboy talk on the Kanye situation. Schoolboy, what's your thoughts on the crazy tweets that came out? Or the tweets. Let me not just demonize the man. Let me just say the tweets.
Well, Kanye's wife has $500 million on the line, so she gonna do what she got to do to make sure that she gets a little piece of that pie. The other thing that I think is interesting to note is that that family, they had a little time where they was getting into like these are BS artists and the athletes, but athletes have an expiration date. Kanye don't have no expiration date. You know what I'm saying? Them royalty checks, they coming in regardless. Kanye could be crazy, but what is it? Graduation or whatever, that shit's still gonna sell. And Chris figured that shit, Chris figured that out. So she put her daughters on the track and was like, don't bring home no more of these basketball players. You know what I'm saying? Only balls you need to be juggling is someone who got some long money. And athletes just don't really have long money like that. And I really think that's what it comes down to. All that other shit is cool, it's sweet, but they playing the money game. What is Kim's asset? You know what I'm saying? What is her intellectual capital?
What you mean? Oh, I could. May I?
I mean, go ahead.
The lady's getting a couple. She getting $1 million per minute on the app. That's number one.
Endorsements.
The Kim Moji. Shit, yeah. We made $1 million a minute. Nigga. What you talking about? Shit.
Okay, so she has an emoji.
She got a the Spanx, the little thing she don't put out. The what they call? You know what they call the Skims. The Skims, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she got the Skims.
But the Kardashians haven't been as popping as they were as a couple of years ago when they first came out. Even in last year, Forbes is going back and forth with Kris Jenner and Kylie Jenner about Kylie Jenner's company, her makeup beauty company, because Kylie Jenner had a situation where she had a company invest 51% stake into her company. And when someone, most people know, if you have a business that's making a whole lot of money, you're not going to give more than half of your company away to someone else. And so Forbes started to pry. They started to look through things, and they're actually looking at her records now to possibly retract her being a billionaire. I'll go and I'll find the article just so I can be accurate. Who? But yes, Kylie Jenner with Forbes.
Oh yeah. That already been proven a lie.
That was that they falsified their
they already
earnings.
proved that. Yeah, they already proved that.
So
Steph said all that shit came and went.
Yeah, Kim K got some stuff popping. Kim K and Kanye West is black excellence, all right?
What? Doug is bugged out. All right, so as you find that article, I'm gonna bring up this one where salute to Dave Chappelle. There's an article that comes to us from Hip Hop DX. Where it says Dave Chappelle rushes to Kanye West's side in Wyoming. And it says goes on to say Dave Chappelle visited Kanye West at his ranch in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, on Tuesday, July 21st, amid concerns over his mental health. Kanye posted a video on Twitter with the stand-up comedian and longtime friend as they posed for a group photo. So I don't know too many of these people in the photo, but I do know the guy standing to the right of Kanye, and that is JahLogic from Tribe Called Quest, a good friend of Dave Chappelle and his. I had the pleasure of kicking it with JahLogic a couple times, over in 2019, pre-COVID, a real good guy. So it's good to have this support, And I'm going to read some more of the article. It says, thank you, Dave, for hopping on a jet to come see me, doing well. Kanye tweeted, Dave, you are a godsend and a true friend, all love. In the clip itself, Kanye tells Dave that the world needs some joy and asks him to say something to make him smile. Brotherhood is real love. Love is real, Dave said. Kanye laughed in response, saying, wait a second, I'm still not smiling, bro. And then he says, before telling him to lift our spirits, an uplifting joke. I don't write them, Dave said. He continues, shit, I don't know. I'm still on my first cup of coffee. And
I didn't like that he was trying to force Dave Chappelle to tell a joke. Like, as a comedian, we don't like that. Every time we pull up, it's not to tell a damn joke. Sometimes we just pulling up to just be regular. But you have that when you're a comedian. Sometimes they think you just pull a joke out your ass.
Well, Dave Chappelle is not one of those guys that's real public neither. You know what I'm saying? Like he likes his privacy. He's not definitely someone that's going to just tell a joke at the drop of a dime. But I gotta salute him for even checking up on him. You know, when this whole when Trump won, you know, Dave Chappelle, I'm not gonna say stood by Trump, but he told us all on Saturday Night Live to give Trump a chance. And you know, for Kanye, his friend, to be running for president, you know what I'm saying, and to be looked at as mentally ill in the moment, I respect him for going to check on him.
Yes, I respect that more than what bitch ass T.I. did. All that. Oh yeah, you public violation. Need a public demonstration and this, that, and this, and doing all this talking about Kanye. You don't need to disrespect our ancestors and yeah. T.I. always come out with a tough ass post anytime somebody say something. But I bet the white people put the clamps down on his ass. He'll be butt dancing just like fucking Nick Cannon is right now. Stop it, man.
T.I. already did that.
T.I. is prone to doing.
Yeah, he already did that. He always.
When he got caught, when he got caught up with them things.
Yeah, at least Ye, you ain't never catch Ye on no fucking camera talking about somebody fucking.
Please get this out my hand.
Talking about, I got another tip for you. And what about when Mike Tyson called your ass tipster, nigga? He didn't have nothing to say then. See, I don't like selective. Oh, I want to say something now and say something now. I don't want to say nothing now. I don't like them type of niggas. Niggas, if you gonna speak up all the time. I'm gonna try to speak every time Ye come out. You trying to get some shine, and then the last time you goddamn Kanye West came out and said something about slavery, you took your little hoe ass down there and dropped the track with him, trying to get some shine. As soon as Jay called you, you got your whole ass on the plane, nigga.
Yeah.
Ready to make a track like a bitch in heat. What you got for me, Ye? All in there rapping and shit, man.
Well,
man.
Well,
I'm so tired of T.I.
Well, look.
I want 50 Cent to slap the nigga, because I can't do it. I want 50 Cent to do that. You know, handle your business, 50.
Yeah.
All right, so my homie Mike says Dave Chappelle looked like he didn't want to be on camera, and that's my point exactly. Salute to Evan X. He says, peace to you, brother. That's a good segue. So apparently T.I. was on the Breakfast Club, and he spoke about Nick Cannon, and he also spoke about this commercial that you mentioned that he did, right? So let me pull up this article. We're not going to play the Breakfast Club, but this article comes to us from Complex, and it says T.I. says Nick Cannon's apology shouldn't be used to slander one of our national treasures. He's calling Nick Cannon a national treasure.
Oh God!
What?
So it says. What? So I'm gonna read some of the article. It says Nick Cannon's anti-Semitic comments placed him between a rock and a hard place after offending a whole culture and demographic of people. Hold on, I hear a little background noise in me. There we go. All right, so yeah, where was I? Yeah, Cannon took it upon himself to apologize. Doing this, it only opened himself up for more scrutiny from other black people. As a result, T.I. used his recent appearance on the Breakfast Club to address cancel culture, cannibalistic nature, and more. First, T.I. discussed his now infamous Crime Stoppers commercial. So if anybody doesn't know, T.I. had a commercial where he basically urged people to call the cops in their community, which is kind of weird of a so-called, trap rapper to do that. But yeah. So nevertheless, he says, when Charlemagne brought it up, salute to Charlemagne for asking the hard questions, brought up Boosie Badass condemning T.I. for doing that commercial. Tip said Boosie's position was an extraordinary circumstance. I'm not willing to tell on nobody to keep from doing long numbers and cancel out millions of dollars in my career, but to keep from doing a drop to tell citizens to do what citizens are already able to do, I'm going to do that every time, he said. If I catch another case, you can expect another commercial. He continued, if I don't have any angst or regrets or anything, he added. I don't feel guilty or bad about it. I ain't put nobody in jail ever. If it's a difference between telling on somebody and a commercial, I'm going to take the commercial every time. Later, he got into Nick Cannon's apology where he stated, whether you agree or disagree with the apology, you don't use it to villainize or slander one of our national treasures. Tip said nearly 30 minutes into the interview. This comes after T.I. urged people to put Cannon's actions in a perspective when judging him. So I'm going to let my panel speak on the situation first before I give my feedback. And I'm going to start with J.Doug, who kind of already told us how he feels about T.I. What do you have to say?
A little bit of, I ain't going to go back to that diatribe about T.I., but when T.I. said, "Oh, I never snitched on nobody. I just did a commercial and I never got nobody locked up." Nigga, you did a mass snitching, okay? You don't know who the fuck you got locked up with that commercial. You just like, it's like when you go fishing, you just threw a wide web out there like, yo, I don't know nobody to snitch on, but if y'all know somebody to snitch on, call this damn number and help me get up out this bullshit I'm in. So you gonna talk to you never got nobody locked up. See, dog, black people got all the common sense. They know all the big words when it's time to talk about white people. They know history. They know every angle. But then when it's time to focus on themselves, that's why I encourage black people to focus on your damn self so these things won't happen. When it's time to focus on your damn self, I don't think I ever got nobody. Did I ever point my finger at somebody? Okay, then you got to get all into extra detail. But the thing about Nick Cannon being a national treasure, come on, let's put Nick Cannon right where he was before all the bullshit. First, he was a nigga with some bullshit on his head, okay? That didn't work out for him. Before then, he was just another corny-ass rapper, corny-ass comedian, average actor. That's it. And he was a white butt kisser. That what he was good at, okay? That what kept him in position all these years. I don't know why he gave that up. But he tried to come do the black thing. That didn't work for him. Now he's trying to get back to the white and Jewish ass kissing. Go do what you've been doing good this whole time, nigga.
Hey, what's the definition of the black thing?
Walking around, regurgitating all these black lies and excuses that black people want to hear the other day and say, yo, yeah, you right about that, Nick Cannon. Yeah, man, yeah, I'm with you, bro. You know what I mean? It's easy for him to come out here and talk about, redlining, and we were the first Jews, and as soon as he motherfucking pull up to his gated community and his phantom, he talking nice to all the white people. He ain't worried about no damn redlining. He in favor for redlining. He trying to figure out like, damn, I hope no nigga don't move out here where I'm at. And he probably take that bullshit off his head, I'm sure.
All right, Vanessa, what do you
you are absolutely right, J.Doug. Nick Cannon was never a national treasure. Honestly, and I'm not saying that Nick Cannon is a bad person or anything like that, but truth be told, he has not had the most illustrious career when it comes to black people. Yes, he's been known for kissing white people's asses, but he has not been in the best movies or anything like that. And the closest thing that he had that was a success for black people was Wildin' Out. And the only reason why Wildin' Out is successful is because of the black people that are on and participate and make the stars of that show. So honestly, Nick Cannon himself has never created anything. And also to get onto T.I., T.I. has been caught up in the law since he became T.I. 2 times, big wise. One time that he got caught up with his wife, and the other time it was just him and those things that he had with him. And mysteriously, T.I. just escapes through these
what happened to
situations.
Him and Tiny getting caught up in L.A. with that cocaine.
Yeah, he took the hit for her for that, and then he got caught up again after that with them things, and he only did I think it was a year, maybe 2 years at most, but it was a very short time that he was in jail. And when he came out, everybody was surprised because with that kind of stuff that he had on him, nobody would possibly, the normal average human being probably would have did maybe 5 to 10 years for the amount of firearms and stuff that he carried, allegedly. I mean,
But he's claiming in this article that all he had to do was the commercial.
So the commercial was the compromise.
That's what he's saying. He said if you have to choose between telling on someone and doing a commercial, he do the commercial every time. So he's insinuating that the commercial is how he got off. Do you buy that?
I doubt that. There's more to that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Go ahead, J.Doug.
I'd rather a snitch than a snitch encourager. See, a snitch just snitch on one person, one and done with a snitch, maybe 2, maybe 3. But you encouraging motherfuckers to snitch, a little person like T.I., that's like Creflo Dollar just walking in the church encouraging everybody. Y'all go tell them some damn about it today. How about that? If y'all see any crime, I don't give a fuck if somebody spit, on the sidewalk. Can you
They
please report this to crime? Yeah, jaywalk. Report this to Crime Stoppers, please. I don't got time to snitch on everybody. I need a couple niggas to get locked up behind my bullshit. Not one.
Let me get into some of these comments before we go to Schoolboy. Schoolboy, heard your thought. Keenan says he told no lies. Nick is solid. Wendy says good morning. Good morning, Blue Money.
Good morning.
Franchise Catering is laughing at us. Wendy's laughing as well. Evan X says, bruh probably had to do that commercial as a result of his charges. That's what we're saying. That's what he's insinuating. Franchise Catering says, FYI, I'm all for snitching if I'm innocent. Wendy,
I'm snitching, period. But I'm not trying to act like I'm not gonna snitch. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with snitching. But don't be running around acting like you're not gonna snitch. I'm not doing 30 minutes for another nigga.
I think you need to revisit what snitching is, though. But you know, that's another conversation. But
I'm cooperating with the police, period.
So if you do a crime, me and you do a crime together.
If you do a period, me, say yes. I'm cooperating. Period. All
right, so
you know what I mean?
That's what a snitch is. That's what a snitch is. A snitch is not just a law-abiding citizen talking, telling on something they saw. Right? Is you do a crime with somebody and then you tell on that person you did the crime with.
If I know you stealing food stamps and I ain't getting none, I'll report your ass. You know what I mean? So that's a prize.
So the point, if you were getting some of the food stamps and then would you still tell? That's the point.
But Logic, the idea of snitching now has really transformed. Like, yes, that was the original mindset of what people thought snitching was, years ago. But, now snitching has transformed. A lot of people think that if they even speak to the cops in any way, shape, or form, that they consider that even to be snitching. Not to go back to Megan Thee Stallion, but she did not snitch on herself when she got shot in the foot. She went to the hospital, told them she had glass in the foot, and she had shot in the foot. Why? Possibly because the perception of being a snitch, because the perception of dealing with cops. A lot of people now, unfortunately, they're not able to separate those things.
Okay. I don't want to get on the Megan Thee Stallion situation, but most of the time when women don't snitch, when something like that happened to them, they 9 times out of 10 they deserved it. You know what I mean? A bitch would know, like, yo, I shouldn't have been fucking with this nigga. I done fucked around and he made this nigga shoot me in my foot. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, women know that. Yes.
All right, guys. Wendy says National Treasure, never. And then Keenan says he's the black Ryan Seacrest. How can you be mad at that? I'm not mad at that. So
I want you to stay Ryan Seacrest. Ryan Seacrest ain't never coming trying to act black. I'm gonna tell you that.
Or he don't even act white. Ryan Seacrest ain't out here promoting any type of personal agenda. He go on, he hosts, he do his shows, and he mind his business.
That's exactly.
All right, Keenan says get at that nigga Schoolboy. So we're gonna need Schoolboy to check in soon. Evan X says they hemmed T.I. up, had him looking at big boy charges in order to clear his name with the law. They had to run him. And then Redemption says Nick Cannon is a folks tips poster child. Wendy says Drumline 2 now. So she's saying Drumline was a banger. I don't, she said
Drumline.
No, he about to make a second one.
They did make the second one. That shit went straight to TV.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Nobody was like, nobody ain't watch that dumb shit.
What the hell?
Tiana, I got a story from that movie, by the way, Drumline 2.
What happened? You fucked a bitch on set?
Nah, I didn't. But I go into I stepped off.
You ain't got no story, nigga. You ain't got no story.
I was there. I was there, and I was stepped off into like a little side room, and somehow like the director was there, and Tiana Taylor was there, but I didn't know who Tiana Taylor was at the time. So I'm talking, and she just came up in there, like just standing there. I don't know, but she was standing there, and I was talking to the director about something. She kind of interrupted, and I was like, "Damn, that shit was rude as hell." You know what I'm saying? But then I found out later.
Because it was about 20 years ago.
Right, I was a little bit older. But long story short, then somebody was like, "Oh, that was Tiana Taylor, and that was the director." I was like, "I didn't know none of that shit. Like, I was just here talking shit in a side room somewhere."
Were they filming on your campus? Were they filming at your college, or
they were filming at a sound stage, I think, in Atlanta? But they did film, I think, some of the stuff on campus.
Okay.
Who is Tiana Taylor, the singer?
bro, her body was banging. I was like, God damn, her body's hot.
She was a child in.
No, she was she was over 18, I believe. But
no, she had to be. I met Tiana Taylor when she was 16, and that was over 10 years ago.
All right, I don't know how old she was, but Tiana Taylor is a fine ass pit bull.
I think it was like 2000. She looked kind of weird, but I was just like, yeah, man. She was there, and somebody was asking me if I knew who it was, and I was like, no, I don't know who that is. I didn't know that was somebody I was supposed to know. I thought she was just a dancer coming in there talking shit.
All right, so Wendy speaking about T.I. says different cases.
Tiana Taylor, I'm sorry about that. Tiana Taylor 29, man. So when Drumline, that 20 years ago, so she probably was like 9. No, man, she was 9.
She was 19, 20. Nah, she was 19,
no, Drumline came out about 20 years ago. 20
I'm
years
not talking
ago.
about the first Drumline.
Oh, you talking about the one that went to TV?
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about the second one.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry, man. You slowing us down for that. I go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
All right, so I just looked it up. The Drumline Part 2 came out in 2014. I believe that's called A New Beat.
Yeah, you did. You definitely said. Well, she was definitely fine then.
All right.
Now you should have been. Now you should have tried to smash, nigga.
So Wendy says different cases. Speaking of T.I., Franchise Catering said he did a show to positively influence troubled youth. Salute. Redemption says, I cannot stand T.I. His rhetoric does not match his actions. Perhaps his views so he views his so-called activism as means to redemption. It's a good point. There's a lot of people out there who tend to claim they about activism and claim they for the people, but they're really doing it as a publicity stunt or popularity contest. That does happen.
And we need to start talking more about having a high school diploma, because I don't think people even mention that no more. Like, what your high school diploma and stuff like that. Motherfucker with GEDs, you know what I mean, that you wouldn't even listen to in the 90s. They sitting up talking with GEDs and shit. Like, man, come on.
Hey, bro.
T.I. know he don't got an education. I don't hear nobody ask about high school diploma. Even when you go on these jobs, they don't never ask, can I see your high school diploma? That's just like nothing no more.
Nothing wrong with
damn.
GED, man. It's an equivalent diploma. You could go to college with a GED, man.
Yes, but we'll just know where you stand. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, nigga be hating on the GEDs right now. Hey, yo, I met somebody. I've been meeting a lot of people who got GEDs, man. I've been meeting a lot of people who have GEDs.
I know niggas who went to.
I ain't even going for it. I got my GED and I went to college early because I got my GED early. So I ended up in college before people was supposed. I was in college at 17.
But do you got a college degree?
Nah, I wasn't a good student. I was.
So you standing on your
degree? I got a college degree, and when I used to go on job interviews before I'm working at where I work at now, I used to want to beg these people just to look at my diploma, just look at it, because they really didn't care.
Yeah, they don't ask you about no diploma no more.
You went to college? Okay, cool. You're gonna make the same amount of money that high school graduate over there making.
Exactly.
I know, right? They don't give a damn.
I had an intern at one of my jobs that was getting their master's. So, my intern was a master's student. You know what I'm saying? So, it's about your grind, especially in places like New York. What do you have your college degree, J.Doug?
No, I did some college, but this is the thing about college degree. Real people in the real world know if you actually go to college and you finish, that's dumb. Most people don't want no college person anyway, because they know you ain't do nothing but stump the damn yard and get drunk. So they ain't trying to have you up in there.
That's not true.
Throwing up sororities and all that silly shit. That's all gonna happen.
I went to college. I did not join a sorority or anything like that. I went to college. I minded my business and I created a porn company.
Nigga gonna be on the yard stumping.
Yeah, you know. When I was in school,
and then you come into the office with that silly ass shit. You be in the office. They were like, man, can you sit your ass down and tight, please, sir? We trying to handle business. And you sitting up here grown ass man still trying to stump the yard.
Yeah, when I was in college, we started a nonprofit that actually gives out scholarship money every year, and it's been on like consistent over the last 11 years. So
I ain't got no
money.
Yeah,
man, like everybody ain't just out doing that goofy shit. But other than that, y'all really think that T.I. didn't tell on nobody, man?
Hell no, of course he did.
I mean, come on, this man was already a 2-time felon when he got caught with the guns.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
So you're telling me he only did a couple years for guns and ammunition together and got caught with it? along with illicit drugs, and he ain't snitch on nobody. All he had to do was that commercial note. I remember when I got to Atlanta, T.I. was on that whole tour. Everywhere you went in Atlanta, T.I.'s name was associated with some community service. He was working that shit off. And it's just like, I really can't respect that shit because T.I. went from I'm gonna sell a lot of drugs. I'm talking about selling bricks, this, that, and the third. But now that I got my money and I'm starting to come up, y'all niggas don't need to do that. Like, shut your ass up, bro. Let me get my money too. Let these young boys get their money. You wasn't worried about that when you was out here hustling. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get caught with the guns, you wasn't worried about nothing else. You was worried about, protecting yourself. Meanwhile, you could have just hired some damn security guards. Why you over there holding the guns? You know what I'm saying? Like, you on some dumb shit, and then you got caught, and your resolution is I'm gonna do this commercial, but it's not snitching. But when I do go and get caught with some guns, I'm gonna get out in a couple years. Nobody else can do that, but I can do it. But I didn't snitch. None of that makes sense. Like, it just don't make sense. I'm not about to believe that shit.
All right, Keenan says we want our communities to be cleaned up, but we don't want nobody to tell on criminals, ?
Not exactly true. It's not about telling on criminals. I think it's about more so being the change you see in the world. If you see something in your community and you don't like it, you should directly try to approach that person. Now, obviously, if that person has a gun or if that person's a violent person and they say like, oh, F out of what you say, then yeah, it is what it is. You can't really do much about it. But I get the question. I understand it. It's important for us to do something about our communities. But snitching might not necessarily be the way.
I think self-policing is the way. Redemption says these dudes want to emulate mafiosos minus Amaretta. Red Alert Black says T.I. is an imitation Eric Dyson without Princeton.
I was gonna say without the vocabulary.
Ty West says, yeah, geez. The chairman, JahLogic. Salute, Ty West. Salute to you, brother. Fall Rock in the building, 54th Street. You already. Franchise Catering says Ryan Seacrest is a LGBTQ advocate.
Oh no, Ryan Seacrest, girl.
Of course, he gotta be. Everybody has to be. That's a gang right there.
You ever did girl on girl scenes?
Yes, I've never eaten pussy before, but I've done like sucking on my titties, kissing, and I've done like strap-ons.
I still ain't looked your porn up. I don't want to because
there's white girls up there.
I don't know, shit. I like it. You say white girls up there?
I told you, yes. I have scenes with white girls, but it's weird because it's like some people. I don't know. I guess like some people they could just say like, "Oh, I'm gay" or "I'm bisexual," whatever the case would be. I don't. It's weird, but I don't consider myself gay or bisexual. I consider myself like a heterosexual female, honestly.
All right.
Keith says link for research purposes, of course. Well, I think he's talking about Vanessa, your video. So what's the name of your website?
Vanessa Smilez, XXX.com. Smiles with
damn.
Smiles with an S, you said?
Yeah, Vanessa Smilez, VANESSA SMILES XXX.com.
All right, man.
I want to ask another question.
Keenan, it's too early in the morning to be beating your meat, bro. You know what I'm saying? So just
hey, no such thing. No such thing.
Wait till later in the day.
No such thing. No, don't say that, y'all. No such thing.
Yeah, that's when most niggas beat their meat when they wake up dick hard. Motherfucker gotta go pee. Ain't
no
got
such
nobody
thing.
there to go stick it in. You might, rub one out on Vanessa's style. On the low.
That's how you do it.
Red Alert Black says that's our shit. And then Steph says T.I. got his time reduced for doing that TV series Road to Redemption.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. And I just have to say shout out to Wendy. Wendy, who was on here in the comments. I haven't seen Drumline 2 either. So
yeah, Drumline 2 is like, who seen that? That came and went. Motherfucker put that back on the shelf with high 2. They just said, yeah, we're gonna forget about these. Motherfucker, I got the hook up. What that one I got the hook up too. We're gonna put that on the shelf too. Any of these black tools that we tried to do for the Lolo ain't work, we're gonna act like they didn't happen.
Yo, but I got the hookup too was actually funny, but that's a sidebar. Yes, it was. I watched it on UMC. Yeah, it was funny.
I went to see I got the hookup 2 in the theater. I ain't gonna front.
Oh, nice.
You were funny?
I thought they tried to do something different with this whole social media culture. So they tried to make it to where it was like one long, a bunch of different skits in the movie. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like a bunch of skits that had an underlying plot line. But I didn't think it was as good as the first one, no. But I went to support it because an independent black film getting to the theaters is something we should support if we want to be able to put more black films in the theaters. So as a filmmaker, I believe in that. And Steph says that shit was trash.
Yeah, I didn't want my Master P to put more money into his movie so people could take our movie serious.
I feel like
it's cool to be black, but sometimes people just put out trash and just throw that old, it's black though. Support it because it's black. So we come up. That's a hustle for some people. It's just like, yo, eventually a Master P level of movie, all the movies he done been putting out, your movie should not decrease in quality. That was like his worst movie. You know what I mean? And he had some pretty bad movies. But he got some classics like Hot Boys. White people have that too, though.
White people have like movies that don't have extremely high budgets, but they end up winning film festivals and all those type of things because of the content inside of the movie. Sometimes white people will have like The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio. Like it's dark the entire movie, like mainly the entire movie. Even Game of Thrones. Like I mean, obviously Game of Thrones is a big thing. I don't want to shoot the GOT people, but a lot of their films are extremely dark, sometimes hard to see, but sometimes people fall in love with the context of the films, the story. So I could say quality, yes, it is important, absolutely, but sometimes it's more about the context versus that.
Yeah, you're right. Salute to this Master P. I don't want to start hating on Master P.
And white people do it too.
Have y'all ever seen that movie Repose with Michael Blackston in it?
Nah. That's another one.
You have to watch. Movies. You have to watch it. That's one of the. That's a Master P video too.
Yeah, that shit was real funny. That shit was real funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
Cat Williams was in there too.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
That shit was real funny. So yeah, we're gonna go into this next subject. We're gonna talk about this young rapper by the name of 42 Doug. 42 Doug.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep rolling.
Suspected of being gay after sucking dick snippet. 42 Doug clarifies, and this comes to us by Vlad TV. So apparently this dude has some type of lyrics in his song that was questionable. So we're gonna give it a listen, and then we're gonna see how questionable it is. I saved my listening of this questionable shit for the show. So here we go. We're gonna play the 7-second clip that comes to us via Twitter on Vlad TV. Let's go.
That I made that was supposed to keep us lit. I was out here sucking dick. I was trying to pay the rent.
Whoa, hold on. I'm gonna play that shit again, man. Just one more time, man.
That I made that was supposed to keep us lit. I was out here sucking dick. I was trying to pay the rent. My
And a lot of them niggas, they do their songs high and drunk. And when you drunk, you tell the truth. So he'll probably just on the track freestyle and just think about how he came up. You know what I mean?
I respect his honesty. I mean, there's a lot of.
I know you probably like that little line.
Yo,
that way. Money, yeah.
Yo, he sound like a city girl a little bit to me. But what I have to say is I respect him for being honest, because there's a lot of dudes out here on the low sucking dick to pay the rent, and they don't tell nobody. So shout out to 42 for being honest.
And he might be getting blackmailed by one of his executives. Like, yo, if you don't do what I tell you on this mixtape, I'm going to tell him you had to suck me up to get the contract. So that nigga probably went out there and said, hey, man, I'm going to release a little snippet so I can get in front of this story. I was out here sucking dick.
So wait, did he say that he was sucking dick, or he said his haters was sucking dick?
He said I was out here sucking dick. He said I was.
He said hoes out here sucking dick. That's what he said.
I was out here sucking dick. I was trying to pay the.
I heard
too.
I heard
Yikes. I was out here. He said he was out here sucking D, trying to pay the rent. Nigga, I'm trying to pay the rent now, and I'm not looking for no dick to suck, man. Listen, what is this man doing? Why is she telling on this stuff like this? Yo,
I mean, I feel like this is the culture that comes behind us. I used to do workshops in the prisons, right? And I remember having a debate with the young peoples in the prisons talking about that baby kissing Wayne was a sign of respect. And I had the same debate with Doug. That's why I don't understand his position or try to put on the crazy shit on New Yorkers. You know,
I never said nothing. I don't like Lil Wayne. I mean, I respect Baby, but I don't like Lil Wayne.
But Baby's the one that was molesting the child. Lil Wayne was a child, and that's my position on that. You know what I'm saying?
I have no knowledge that he was doing that.
He molested him in our face.
I don't think so.
And that's the debate we had. There's no reason for a so-called mentor to be kissing a child in the face just because on paper he can take him to the hospital. Because that's all.
It's different cultures, different places, different ways they give it up, different places. So you know what I mean?
No,
down there in New Orleans, that's how they give it up, man.
Oh no, nigga, no. Hold on, Vanessa. Yeah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Vanessa. Check your mic.
No, I don't support that. That was weird, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, man.
No. Listen, this is what I'm saying. This is the type of culture that fostered. People thinking that shit was cool. That's what comes next. You got little niggas rapping about sucking dick to pay the rent. You know what I'm saying? Is if you know, because that's basically what people are advocating for when they watch a grown man molest a child in public, and they say, "But they getting money." But they getting money. That's niggas' excuse. They getting money. He get money. If I wish I had a little bit Birdman money, I wish I had a little weight, buddy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the fuck you think gonna come next?
What if they really had a relationship like father and son?
Listen, once you get a certain age, a father's not kissing no child on the mouth anymore.
And this is what I always tell people. We talk. You don't know what you're gonna do to your daddy if he bringing you millions of dollars. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
And that's what you said. We spoke about it before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, we all. If you got a father and he making you millions of dollars, you may get a nigga a kiss on the lip. I'm telling you.
No, I may not. No.
You can't say that.
I can.
You smashing all these fine ass women. Result to your daddy. It's like my nigga said, hell yeah, I kiss my daddy. I think they pissed on how rich my daddy is, and I'm a kid. I stuck with my daddy.
Nah, I think basically what he was trying to do was a cry for help. And my point is, it's not to down Lil Wayne. Like I believe he was actually the victim in that situation. But what I'm saying is, what do you think is going to come next when you raise a whole generation off of thinking this is normal? Yeah, nigga, you just basically said for $1 million. So that's sucking dick for more.
So people really thought that was normal, J.Doug?
Obviously, you went on to sell millions of records afterwards.
Well, I mean, maybe a lot of people who thought it was cool bought millions. I've never bought a Lil Wayne record. I've never seen anybody showing off the fact that they bought a Lil Wayne record. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. I mean, I thought everybody was just stealing the music. Like everybody else.
No, man. Lil Wayne Carter 3 sold $1 million in a week, sir. This was back when CDs was a thing, you know what I mean?
And this is why I say, man, I am black, but if that's a part of Negro culture, like that don't have nothing to do with me, man. You know, like R. Kelly, like promote R. Kelly.
So that's
and stuff
crazy.
Like that. I'm cool, man.
You will go along with the blaming and complaining, but you don't want to go along with that. That's mind blowing.
You don't want to talk about with child molestation? Where are we going with this?
I have no knowledge of no child molestation. Nobody have no knowledge of that.
Well, I mean, if
y'all niggas speculating.
Baby kissing Lil Wayne in the mouth as an adult indicates that in the past they had a relationship with something that was normal.
The Schoolboy, the first time it was done in public was when he was a child. It was when he was a teenager or young or preteen and all that.
Twerk, Turk,
so.
BG. They all came out and said, yo, that was just something we all did. It wasn't.
Oh, they were all kissing Baby in the mouth?
That's what Twerk said. Twerk said that. BG said the same thing.
Yeah,
man, they said that was the normal thing. Now, if Birdman just had all this young bussy around him and he was just touching on all them young boys, salute to him.
No,
you know what I mean. But for what I know,
see, this is why I don't fuck with having a R. Kelly supporter, man. Because of that right there. How can you support if you support R. Kelly, everything goes downhill from there. I've noticed that about certain people.
No, that's not true.
What R. Kelly did wrong?
Before we go off topic,
I can't tell you if you don't know.
Before we go off topic, Vanessa, what do you have to say about the young boy clearly saying he sucked dick for the rent? Before we go into his so-called explanation.
He get it from his mama.
Yeah. On top of that, I think he is definitely in the running to be the third city girl. I cannot wait till the whole track comes out. Bitches is gonna be bumping, having that shit in their cars rolling. I think it's a good idea. And he said I was, so he talked about himself. So I'm glad that he's being honest about niggas who do shit like that. Because a lot of niggas be in the industry hiding what the fuck they do. And at least we have somebody coming to the forefront. I don't see no difference between him and the other dude who wore the wedding dress in the goddamn video. So,
and he just recently broke up with his girlfriend. His girlfriend called him a big booty nigga.
Yeah, we after we go into the clarification. So, let me go into some of these comments real quick. You gotta respect Florida. I think we all gotta respect each other. We can't blame any abnormal shit on any particular coast, city, or anything like that.
I don't know about, man. Florida, man, kind of weird, man.
I love Florida. I used to live in Florida. Florida's a beautiful place.
Franchise Catering says, sounds pretty self-explanatory to me. Keenan says he had to be rapping from a female perspective. Slim says, laugh out loud, dude was telling the story of a female, or was this a confession? I think it was more of a confession. You know what I mean? Franchise Catering says they were all victims. My point exactly. Redemption says, agreed, schoolboy. Slim says, all them young cats got ran through and taken advantage of. Those B2K dudes said Marcus Houston used to sleep with them. And that's another good point. And we love to turn a blind eye to that shit too. They was molested by their whole cousin. You know what I'm saying? So
that haven't been proven either. That was one nigga who said that. That was
Raz-B.
Yeah, it wasn't one nigga.
Who else said it?
There was another nigga from Immature that he had on the phone talking about that shit too.
Okay, they got ran through. That don't mean Omarion and them niggas, they might say, yo, I ain't got nothing to do with that shit.
Right. Jay Brooks said the same thing.
Yeah, sometimes when a nigga running through your ass, they try to tell you, oh man, Omarion and them doing this shit too. They don't want you to know, and you turn around, you the only one getting your ass blew out. You like, damn, I thought y'all would get your ass blew out too. So man, you can't go by niggas just coming around talking about, yeah, niggas don't want to be the only one getting their ass blew out. Trust me, they gonna they gonna make it sound like everybody was around getting their ass blew out. That's normal people shit.
And just because
speak for yourself.
And just because sometimes what happens is people enjoy getting their ass blowed out or niggas kissing niggas and all kinds of shit. But sometimes when things don't go in people's favor, that's when they decide to say, oh no, I'm telling. Everybody got to know about this. But all the while, it was perfectly fine. Everything was good. From R. Kelly to Chris Stokes to everybody else. Raz-B was the least favorite member inside of the group. And he came out of one magazine and tried, it was saying Chris Stokes abused him and all that kind of stuff. And everybody else in the group, none of them else had those type of experiences except for Raz-B. And he was the least liked member anyways. Nobody cared if Raz-B was there.
Let me interject real quick, all right?
Please.
Yes, please. Listen, he was the only one that talked about it. When he spoke about it, he spoke about them all getting abused. You can't just expect for a whole group of people with different personalities to be comfortable coming out saying they was getting their ass blown out by their cousin as kids.
But just because somebody speaks on somebody doesn't make that fact. He could say, oh, all those people got touched too. That don't mean that actually happened. Listen, if those people don't confess to saying it, there's no truth in that.
Yeah, we just can't niggas speculate. And what I mean, I say normal people shit. It's normal for people to not want to jump out places by themselves. It's like, yo, if that's how you feeling, if you feeling like you got the ball to step up, you say you want to get molested, just speak on about you. Why you want to talk about something? Oh, Marion, you can't. They say, yo, I didn't. We can't try to force it on a man just because one crazy nut job said it was true.
No, it's not. Listen, what made him crazy? You know what I'm saying? What made him crazy? It's not about one crazy nut job.
What make anybody crazy? Hatred.
Hold on.
Bad. They wasn't getting no money.
Being molested might make somebody crazy.
Exactly.
Okay, if he was so crazy, why did he went back on tour with them? If everything was so bad, when it was time to. Okay,
a lot of people do
if somebody
jobs.
blow my asshole out, fuck the money. So if money is the most important,
that's
thing,
how you are. We just got to talking about how everybody ain't the same. So maybe that's how.
No, that don't make sense. It ain't about But the same, we talk about what makes sense. That don't make sense.
No, but we're talking about a different amount of money though. So yeah, for $20 an hour, I'm not going on tour with these folk. Getting my with a possibility of getting cornered to get my ass blown out.
No, but why would you go on tour and make the person who was blowing your asshole out money?
But for $1 million, maybe that was the mathematics he was doing. I wouldn't do it, but again, I wouldn't see. I'm hard to like. I was telling somebody the other day. I'm not easy to bully. I don't like being bullied. I don't let people just bully me and shit like that. So it's different. So my personality is different though. I know other cats though who will take abuse and be like, it's okay. I'm just gonna go and pray about it and stuff like that. That's how some people are. You know what I'm saying? But
so why can't it be that?
Hold on. Let me say this too. You just finished saying that maybe if you got tens of millions of dollars, getting kissed on the mouth as a child is not a bad thing from a nigga.
Kissed on the mouth and your butthole blew out is two different things, Logic. I said I would kiss my father. I only say I'm gonna get my butt blew out, Logic.
All right, but that's not his father, number one. And kissing him on the mouth, calling him his daddy when it's not his father, it was just his legal guardian and mentor.
That's fine, but if my
let me finish. Is on the road to getting your ass blown out. If that's what can happen in front of the cameras, what can happen behind the cameras? You understand what I'm saying? And let me just bring up this other point. We can't hear you yet. We can't hear you. Give me a second.
It's fucking terrible.
Let me just also bring this up, right? You talk about, you're basically saying Raz B is not credible. You call him crazy because he had the gumption to come out and say what happened to him when they was young, right? But he also said that happened to the guys before him because, they also come from a family lineage of R&B groups. Let me just put this out there. If you was managing an R&B group of children, what the fuck would have them taking all them type of pictures with their shirts off and all this shit hugged up together? All the immature pictures when they was kids, they was all laid on each other's laps and all types of weird shit. Who the fuck was the cameraman in there? Who was the adult in the room that thought that was a good idea to put them on each other's laps with their shoes and socks off and their shirts off, nigga? And you gonna say you gonna give them motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt? You're bugging.
Well, I have to say, I cannot speak for Immature, but I can speak for B2K. I went to every single Scream tour that showed up at Madison Square Garden as a child. I was a big B2K fan. And most of the females in the audience were screaming, "Take your clothes off."
And that's what I'm saying. Number one, you marketing. I can add that real quick. You marketing to young girls.
We wanted to see it.
You didn't say nothing about when Destiny Child, they was wearing skimpy outfits when they was teenagers. That's how they marketed it. They wasn't getting molested by their father, and they was in skimpy stuff. I'm just like, we can't pick and choose on when motherfuckers certain things mean you get molested. Okay, anytime you Aaliyah was fully clothed, and allegedly she was getting molested. She was baggy clothes and all. So what clothes got to do with it? And pictures. Well, that don't mean nothing.
It got something to do with the taste.
That's something to do with what you see.
Hold on. It got something to do with the taste of the adult who's behind the campaign.
That's what I'm saying. What that say about Matthew Knowles letting his young girls come out in skimpy clothes? That mean he molesting them? I don't know. They were taking sexual pictures.
I don't know what Matthew Knowles is doing, but what we do know is.
But by your logic, if adult let a child wear skimpy clothes, that mean they get molested. That's if you're gonna let take sexual pictures.
If you're gonna let me finish, I could actually respond to you. You know what I'm saying? Because when we talk at the same time, the mic's cut out. You know that, especially on my end. But what I'm saying is, what we do know is that Beyonce, since she was very young, was a love interest of grown-ass men. That's what we do know. So, I wouldn't put it past anybody. But my point is, you're not going to tell me that Raz B is uncredible when he did have somebody else come out with him. He just because the other niggas didn't come out with him. I don't believe that. And I believe that it happens all the time. And my point to bring it all around is that a lot of times it gets normalized. And then we surprised when a nigga comes out with a dress or a nigga makes a song talking about fucking sucking dick for paying rent. And he's from Detroit, might I add you, where they say their term for pulling out a gun is pussy nigga pull that dick out. That's what they say to pull out a gun. Pussy nigga pull that dick out. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what the fuck is going on. And it's because it's being normalized over the whole notion that niggas is making money.
But I think that this goes along with the comment. I know you probably already see it on your end that Virginia Slim made. She said that all those cases came from positions of power. The victims wanted to be put on, so they do anything for fame. Hollywood works the same way. I think that this is a very, very common case when it comes to a lot of celebrities. Yeah, they do certain things to get themselves, on and get themselves notarized and famous. And when things don't go their way, then all of the things that they did to get on is now an issue.
Yeah, that's not a molestation. That's you did what you wanted to do. Somebody put a proposition in front of you.
You're not
and you
old
took it
enough to make that decision in the cases I was bringing up earlier. You're not old enough. If you're not old enough to legally have sex, how the fuck are you old enough to make a decision to let a grown man kiss you in your mouth, make you take showers before the office meetings with your bandmates? What the bro?
Just because someone's not legally old enough to do something doesn't mean that they're not willing to do it.
That's what B2K and them was doing.
I'm not assuming.
There's a thing called legal consent, and if you're not giving up, if you can't give legal consent, then it becomes a rape. That's what it becomes.
It becomes that. But just because the person is not technically legal under the law to do so doesn't mean that they didn't still willingly do it themselves.
Yeah, but
you gotta be legal. You gotta be legal at a certain age to drink alcohol. But most young people, they still drink alcohol because they want to drink it. It's not because they don't.
But when we're out here raising kids, etc., we know that you can get kids to do things that they don't necessarily want to, like brush their damn teeth. Like you be like, yo, let me tell you, you know what I'm saying? Like we use it as when we're raising kids for good, but there are people who use that for evil too. It just is what it is. Kids are easy to influence because we already know all the tricks and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, my stepmom used to want me to make Kool-Aid. So she would say, hey, you make the best Kool-Aid out of all my kids. I just love when you make the Kool-Aid. And I'd be like, yeah. And I get in there and be making Kool-Aid like I was doing something special. But really all I was doing something she didn't really feel like doing. You know what I'm saying? But these cats that are out here, like Josh said, like you got these little kids out here, in these soft porn video shoots, and they like 14, 15 years old. When I have an issue when they do it on Nickelodeon with these little Hannah Montanas and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to see this little kid in a short skirt, with her midriff out, doing all of this extra stuff. Like, that's weird. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? It's not different weird when I see little gremlins kissing their daddy on the mouth and little stuff like that. Like, that's still weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. We're not gonna sit here and act like it's not weird that we got a whole industry based on grown-ups sexualizing little kids and taking advantage of them. And we got decades of these kids stars killing themselves and telling everybody, like, help me, I'm getting molested. And we're like, oh, that's cute.
Money. The fuck out. That shit's let's go into this dude, his excuse rather. Let's go into how he cleaned it up. You know what I'm saying? So if you read later in the article, it says rapper 42 Doug found himself trending after a snippet from an unreleased song from his played on IG and appeared to suggest some things about Doug's sexuality, not to be confused with J.Doug, but it says Doug's sexuality. The track 42 Doug was previewing for his followers, focused on the tribulations he faced growing up. As he said, I was out here sucking dick. I was trying to pay rent. That instantly drew scores of Instagram and Twitter users who played it up, forcing 42 Doug to address the suggestive lyric. 42 Doug hopped on Twitter to clarify the line and wrote, hoes out here sucking dick. I was trying to pay her rent. While some accepted 42 Doug's clarification, many others continued to ridicule him. And apparently there's a video from his ex-girlfriend out there floating around. And let me just pull that up, where she basically says, she calls him out his name, basically. So let's see what that was that hitting for. But do you buy that? I heard him say I was. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't buy it, but you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's that big of a deal. You know what I mean? I think he was just drunk, high, freestyling in the booth, probably doing something like that, and just slipped up and said the same thing. He probably thought he said something that he didn't say. So hey, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna put no dick on him until you know something come out heavy and substantial.
All right, let's see if this is substantial enough. Did you watch the video with his girlfriend when she was talking about him?
Some of it, because I don't like to watch all that girly. We just broke up. I gotta go fuck with these broke niggas. Now I'm mad. Videos. No.
All right, let's see what she was talking
about. Brief, okay? Because it's giving too much attention to the shit. I've given too much attention to sneak dissing. Okay?
It's a beautiful bitch.
Nigga keep sneak dissing. Nigga keep going live. Nigga keep making videos. All type of shit. And I been had let it go. You know what I'm saying? Oni, please. Oni, you have to stop it. Okay? Because I know you're sitting over there with that tight ass weave. But that's not about you. Okay, so you eat pussy, bro, without a bitch having to ask. Don't play a role like any bitch.
True, don't do that.
Bitch or a freak hoe or none of that shit that you was eating pussy. That's the thing. How are you bad mouthing a bitch and talking down on a bitch with the same mouth that you was eating the pussy? And actually, Oni, I've never sucked that man's little weenie. I've never sucked the weenie. He'll tell you that. Ask him about that. I've never sucked that man weenie ever in my life, nigga. That's on Chase, okay? Never sucked that nigga dick, okay? Now,
did she call her weenie?
The way he ate pussy, he deserved it.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
Okay? But don't get on here and act like bitches is freak hoes and bitches is doing all this shit and bitches ain't shit. Don't even do that. Don't even do that. Actually, Oni, my makeup's not done, sweetie. My brows are done. And I have a lip gloss on. These are lash extensions. Okay?
You got a full face. She got a full face of makeup on.
No, that's a filter.
So annoying.
That's a whole full face. You see the eyeshadow. And the blush. That's a whole full face.
Freak bitches.
They got filters that do that shit now.
It does, but that's eyeshadow on her eyes.
December, okay? Going into 2020, okay? Don't do that.
Like a terrible
The
girlfriend.
point of the matter is, all that extra rah-rah shit, like that shit is gay. Like, let me just go into this. Real niggas don't do shit like that, okay? This is shit that bitches do. This is shit that hoes do. Real niggas don't do that rah-rah Instagram shit. See, all the real niggas gonna feel me, okay? All the real niggas is gonna feel me. Real niggas don't do that. Real niggas don't do the Instagram shit.
You don't like real niggas.
Clear up some of the allegations. For one, I'm a real bitch first, okay? So let's be clear. I'm a real bitch first. I fucked with the little nigga. Fucked with him. You know what I'm saying? That was my nigga. We was friends first. Like, that was my friend. So that's why it's like kind of fucked up, because I fucked with the little nigga. You know what I'm saying? I genuinely did. So therefore, like, but we always knew what it was. He posting messages now, but I don't have to.
Yes. I thought this was done. I hope it is.
I think it is.
I hope it is, because I'm so over her. FYI, if any female who has ever encountered someone who they even think might be gay, they're not mentioning that. That's an embarrassment. I mean, he left you and decided to go fuck with other niggas or decide to go suck dick. Like, I don't understand why she's even making this broadcast, because it doesn't look good on her part. That's all I have to say.
I mean, I can't agree. I can't disagree with you there.
It just doesn't look good.
She was going to give us more insight into their situation. It don't seem like that's what we got. It just seems like she was a little distraught with him. I don't know.
And she sucked his dick. She mad that she did suck his dick and fuck him. She thought it was going to turn out different. You know, she didn't think he was probably going to go into the studio and start talking about sucking niggas' dicks, which is why she's going on live now. But
no, that lie came out before that.
It did. Oh,
yeah.
She probably did hit a tracks in the studio.
She kept referring to this man's dick as a wee-wee or a weenie. I was just like, oh, what the fuck is going on here?
Females do. She's trying to proclaim her innocence. She's trying to make herself seem like oh, I don't want to say the word dick. Like oh, weenie. Like she's trying to.
But
yeah.
any guy cause like you said, Jay, she going from a cat who making cash money every show to the nigga who work at McDonald's now. The nigga who work at McDonald's, he gonna want his dick sucked. So I hope you're not going over there with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she's going with this. On my phone, of course the algorithm, so I need to watch my mouth, but she's not gonna get far with that attitude at all.
Yeah, I like I like you, very beautiful young lady. I like her accent and all that, sexy ass lips, beautiful lips. But I didn't like the fact that she was trying to. I hate these videos that come out that now I gotta go fuck with these broke niggas. Now I gotta go down talk these niggas. Ho still gonna fuck with them. You ain't doing nothing. She trying to remarket her pussy. It's not gonna work. You should have stayed where you was at, boo. And she one of them women that think she better than the money. You're not better than the money. You're not worth more than the money. And maybe she go get another rich nigga. I don't know. Maybe she got some nigga. I don't know what she got going on. But hey, salute to her.
Are you saying she's not worth more than the money, or a partner is not worth more than money?
She's not worth more than the money. You got women thinking that they is more important than the money. You know what I mean? The money is the most important thing.
Same thing for dudes. You got dudes who's just like, oh, well, you gonna go to work today? Absolutely.
Nah, they be like, you finna go get your back blown out today on the job. You go stay home today. You go. Can you miss a shoot? Can you miss a shoot today? I'll blow your back out here. Right here at the crib.
Well, it's difference between wants and needs.
So Redemption says, what happened to having class? Slim says, side, this generation is lost.
Facts.
Evan X says she need to be under instruction, and that no makeup shit is fake. Everybody know all caramels and light skins got baby hair on their upper lip.
Yo, Evan X talking that pimp shit, boy. He said she need to be under instruction, goddamn. Talking to goddamn.
Hoe without instruction is headed for self-destruction.
Absolutely.
And then they always talk about, I want my real niggas to feel me. I want my real men to feel me. You don't want to fuck with no real men. You want to fuck with these teeny bop ass niggas like 42 Dub, because the real niggas is gonna put you up under some instructions and really get you some cooperation up out your ass. I get you up out the game.
A real nigga will.
And you gonna suck some dick. I tell you that much. See, you see talk about some real niggas gonna feel you. Nah, bitch, real niggas, when you talk about something you ain't suck no dick, real niggas didn't feel you from there on out. It was nothing else you can say to make me feel you. Yeah. You talk about real nigga gonna feel me.
A real nigga would not have that goddamn phone up with her going all loud. A real nigga would have snatched that goddamn phone from her ass and bitch go sit the fuck down somewhere.
Yeah, real nigga. You talking about some real niggas, y'all feel me on this. Nah, you talking about some, you a really rich nigga and you ain't something no damn.
Chicks do that. I feel like chicks do that. And this might be a little bit controversial, but I think the chicks do that shit when they got a bunch of gay friends and they gay little boyfriends be putting them up on, like, be gassing them up. You know what I'm saying? And they doing some shit that real guys ain't really down with that shit. Like, what are you doing? You're looking goofy out here. You're making us look bad. And the gay dude's doing the little dance that J.Doug was doing earlier. And they're like, yeah, girl, get him. Yeah.
Oh, there she goes. She know how to do it better than me. Damn.
I do want to say sometimes that Schoolboy, you ain't even lying about that, because sometimes it is true. There's always, certain females, they do have, gay male friends. And sometimes gay male friends, they will, because I have a couple of them, they will, say certain shit, have a certain vibe, be on a certain way. It's up for the female to decipher that shit. It's up for a female to go home to be like, oh, I'm not about to take what this nigga said. This is my nigga over here, and this nigga don't play that shit. So it's up to that female to really take that out and deal with her man accordingly how she needs to.
All right, so I'll go into this next situation. This comes to us from Florida. J.Doug, you said you spoke about this on a previous show. Let's talk about this. What's his name? Andrew Gillum returns.
Booty bump Gillum
with a personal update. So who is this guy? Explain this to us. Who?
Andrew Gillum was the 2018 candidate for governor on the Democratic Party side. He was out here taking booty bumps, allegedly. He lost the campaign, by the way. So he was out here taking booty bumps, and he got caught up in the hotel with booty juice all over the room, methamphetamine, some white bodybuilders, and he had allegedly went into rehab, and he presented himself as this family man, black guy running around, one of them for the blacks, got free stuff for you, and yeah, he ended up losing, and he said he got into a depression after he lost. I don't know why he's surprised he lost to the white man. Black man been losing to the white man for the last 100-some years. What you surprised about, nigga? Shit, you should have been comfortable in that seat. But yeah, he would say he got depressed, and it resorted to him jumping on dick. You know what I mean? We all been depressed, especially me, but me being depressed ain't never led me to resorted in me to jumping on no dick. But obviously him getting depressed that resorted to him taking booty bumps and being passed out on the bathroom floor butt naked, ass up, ass broke sideways.
Okay. Now I have a question, because this says that he is a former mayor. So while
he was the mayor of Tallahassee too. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So while he served, did this thing circulate, or did this come about after he?
No, this was when the Democratic Party was done with him. They said, "Yo, you couldn't beat that white guy. We don't got no more use for you. We thought you was the new Obama. You ain't. You just some fake. You know what I mean? You ain't slick enough. You don't got enough nigga wiggle to you. See you later, buddy." And they kicked him out. And he was like, "Yo, what is my purpose in life? Maybe I could sell this booty." And that didn't work out for him too long. You know what I mean?
All right, so let's check this out. So it says Andrew Gillum returns with a personal update. It has been some time since we have heard from former Florida Governor hopeful Andrew Gillum, but on Monday he returned to social media to give his supporters a personal update. If you last remember, Andrew announced that he would be entering rehab after he was reportedly found inebriated in a Florida hotel room and unresponsive. Authorities reportedly found bags of crystal meth inside the room, and it was rumored that another male was found inside of the room with Andrew. So it says, fast forward, Andrew returned to give an update and speak about his time in rehab and depression he faced and much more. Let me see if this is a video of it. I'm not going to play the whole video, but let's hear his words.
Hello, everybody. This is Andrew Gillum. I know it's been a while since we've had an opportunity to connect, but as many of you know, I decided to take some time away to work on myself, deal with some issues that I was having. I went away to rehab to focus on my issues with alcoholism, having grown up in a household where my father battled addiction to alcohol and later died from complications from that deadly addiction. I know well the toll that alcohol can take on not only the individual, but also on the family. I know well the toll that it took on my father's dreams, on his hopes, on his ambitions. And I knew that if I didn't want to recycle many of those same issues for my children, that I had to do something about it, and I had to do it now. With a lot of encouragement from family and the people who love and care about me, I also got into therapy where I could start to talk through some of what was going on with me.
Oh, we know what's going on with you.
If I had not dealt first with issues of addiction and the numbing that I chose with alcohol, there was no way I could start to pull back the layers and talk about what was truly happening underneath. Therapy created the outlet for me to be able to do that, to be able to talk to somebody. I had totally underestimated the impact that losing the race for governor had on my life and on the way those impacts started to show up in every aspect of my life. I didn't want to talk emotionally or really deeply about what had happened in the race for governor because it was a constant reminder of failure and my own.
That nigga look like he's sitting on the butt plug right now.
It was a reminder that I had let so many people down. It was a chorus of this voice that I tried for so long to quiet, which said that I wasn't enough, that I wasn't good enough. All the things that I wanted to suppress and numb and forget about, that depression, what I was experiencing there became.
There you if you want to watch the rest of it, that article came to us from the Shade Room, and that video, I believe, is on his Instagram. If you want to see more of him talking about depression leading him into drugs and probably far worse. What do you have to say about that, Schoolboy? J.Doug already gave his feedback. You believe him?
Yeah, man. Like you said, of course not. I mean, we all saw the pictures. Bro. You was in that hotel room with your pants down, face down, with dirty sheets everywhere, and the only people that was conscious and recognizing what the hell was going on was a gay porn star and some random, hooded, shadowy figure who nobody knows. Like, these were your so-called friends, but these are the pictures they took and leaked to the press. You know what I'm saying? Like, my guy. I've been, like you said, J.Doug, I've been depressed before. I've been in a weird situation, monetarily. I've been, down in the dirt before, and never did I wake up with my butt out with baggies of crystal meth all over the ground. That just never has happened to me. Maybe that's normal in Florida, but that's not what we do here.
What you trying to say is you had to pay the rent and you didn't suck a dick. Yes.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Do you guys think that he was set up?
I was wondering that he was set up. I don't know. He might have didn't get his butt ran through. Maybe I'm saying the Democrats play so dirty. Maybe they were like, "Yo, we done with you. We don't need you no more. So, and we don't want you to get no money, and we're gonna ruin your name also. So, we're gonna set you up in the hotel." They might have just stripped them down naked and put some booty juice everywhere. And put the drugs in there and just
said snap.
Yeah, just said snap. The game is dirty like that. So I don't put that past the game either. That's why I'm so many different ways on it. It's funny that he got caught up in the situation as a black man, but we all know how dirty politics can be. You know what I mean? Because even though he didn't win that race for governor, people probably wanted to take him out the conversation altogether. Because even though that black lady from Georgia, Stacey Abrams, she didn't win governor, but she's still in the conversation for doing different things, maybe being Biden vice president. So she's still in the conversation. I think as a black man, maybe they wanted to get him the fuck out of the conversation, really run through that butt and send you home with your butt broke sideways for trying to be a fake Obama.
Come on, there were rumors of Andrew Gillum being homosexual before this time.
Oh wow!
Yeah. This is, and I mean, come on, we saw him. We saw him give the speech or whatever, and we all know that little soft vibe that we getting from you. Oh no, let's be for real now. Let's be for real. Like, if you saw him in a group of men playing spades, I would expect him to be the quiet person that people were picking on.
That nigga like he'll be sitting on a nigga lap playing spades.
His own hand.
You know what I'm saying? You look like a whole right there, pocket ass nigga.
Yeah, I think he didn't have no more option, and he tried to sell that pussy, and it didn't work out for him.
Of course, he had more options, but did anybody?
I mean, he probably wanted that bag for real. You know what I mean? He probably knew what was gonna make him that money quick as possible. And
hey, did y'all see the picture? Did y'all see the picture of this man on the boat with the same dudes? He had his legs all crossed up with the shorts coming up to mid thigh and shit.
Oh
you know
no,
what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Nobody's they over there touching on each other's lap and shit like little like bad bitches. Like, come on, man.
But then he has a family, so there had to be something inside of him to create a family. There has to be some type of urge or some type of, unless she went to
put up a black front.
I'm gonna say this as a person. I went to Morehouse and I went to school with cats who were gay as hell when we was in college.
Morehouse.
And as soon as we graduated, they became pastors and preachers and had 3 kids.
Morehouse. Hey,
okay, dude. Because I mean, the funny thing about it is that after as the years have gone by, people who I've met, out in the public, they say, "Hey, do you know so and so? Yeah, he's a pastor at my church. Is he gay?" And I'll be like, "He was gay when I knew him. Oh, he got a kid, and why? You know what I'm saying?" And that being said, I don't know for sure that these men were gay, but they were very effeminate. You know what I'm saying? And it was an assumption that they were homosexual.
Okay, more. This is the nigga speculation episode. Another thing. Salute to his wife for standing in the paint like that. Normally that's not a black woman thing. Black woman found out you got your butt broke sideways, they'll let you go off the rip. That's white women deal with that every day. White men come in the house every other day. Yo, Karen, and somebody went in my ass today. Again, Paul, this is happening twice this week. I can't help it. It happens.
As a black woman, we don't even want to be the one to go in your ass. Like we
Yeah, white women deal with that type of ass play. I was in a sex store just with this chick that I went out with before. Man, I saw a white guy. They had brought a butt plug. This motherfucker was holding the butt plug so tight, like it was for him. He was so happy about this damn butt plug. He was like rushing to get out the store. We were laughing at his ass. Me and the chick, I was like, yo, this nigga too happy about this fucking butt plug. But this motherfucker must be for him.
Vanessa, you have anything to say about this in conclusion? Because I think they pretty much said a lot.
No, I mean, I said what I thought. I was just saying it was a possibility that this could have been staged, that he could have been set up, right. Or it's also a possibility that, he does have a little, sugar in his tank, and, he wanted to explore something and it just didn't work out. I thought it would.
I think if he did get set up by his political counterparts, I don't think that they had to force the narrative of him being homosexual. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
that was easy. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in that line of work, people know each other's secrets already. Mm-hmm. And then it's just a matter of time of when they're done with you is when they put the secrets out.
Get that nigga a booty bump and he gonna fall out like a bandit.
Right. So, and like, I believe Schoolboy, you said this earlier, it was his own people who put the pictures out or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they had to, because nobody else was there. And then if I remember the pictures, I can't find the pictures now, but I remember at that time, it was like, oh shit, what are these pictures? Because people kept talking about it. And I look at one of the pictures, you see a man with his legs all out, and he taking a picture of your boy from above. Like that it wasn't police shoes in the picture. It was somebody's naked white feet in this picture taking this picture. So it was definitely you know what I'm saying? Like
somebody who partook.
Yeah, like what the fuck was going on that this was even a possibility? And you know when you're trying to take a picture and you don't want to be included in this shit, you're not gonna include your fucking foot in the picture. But when you're trying to be
he probably just took his toe out that nigga ass.
Yeah, like when you try to do some slick shit, you're gonna take a picture of a chick and have your arm in the picture with her and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what happened, man. That's what happened.
All right, so
he got cut up by his little boyfriends.
Well, it sounds like the boyfriend's got a check from his political counterparts, and that's how that went. But we're gonna do somewhat of a Corona update. We still in times of COVID. And in states like, I believe, Florida, Texas, and California, they're actually going back to step 1. But this article comes to us from CNBC, and it's basically claiming, Dr. Fauci is claiming that New York, Fauci holds up New York as model for fighting coronavirus, says that they did it right. And I'm gonna read a little bit of this, but I'm gonna give some more updates via a couple other outlets. White House Health Advisor Anthony Fauci praised New York for its handling of the coronavirus pandemic, saying the state responded correctly to bring its outbreak under control. We know that when you do it properly, you bring down those cases. We have done it. We have done it in New York, Fauci said in an interview with PBS NewsHour. that aired Friday evening. New York got hit the worst than any place in the world, and they did it correctly by doing the things that you're talking about. He continued. New York was once the epicenter of the outbreak in the United States, with more than 10,000 new cases a day during its peak outbreak in April. The state has dramatically reduced daily new infections to 776 as of Thursday. And this article came out, I believe, on the 18th. All right, so earlier this week, on Monday. My corona update, in my opinion, is that no one's taking this shit serious. I don't think people believe in the corona thing anymore. And I'm gonna let you guys talk about it really quick, but I'm gonna play a few things that basically, backs up my statement of what I'm saying, that people just don't believe in this shit anymore. And he's saying New York did it right, but when I go outside in New York and I drive around, I see people with face masks on their wrists, on their chin, on their ear, everywhere but they fucking face. So if New York did it right, I don't want to see what doing it wrong is looking like. You know what I'm saying? So let me start with Vanessa, because you live in New York, you live in the city. So how do you feel about New York doing it right and this thing being under control, supposedly?
Yeah. I live in Brooklyn. My job as a driver, I drive across the 5 boroughs of New York City every single day. And for me, I see the same thing that you see. I see people not wearing masks. I see people not wearing gloves, sneezing, all those types of things. But truth be told, there's a lot of the difference between New York City and a lot of other places and states around the country is New York City has a more controlled environment versus other cities and states. When you go down to Florida, Texas, or all these other places, very wide open. It's a huge range. So it's much different as far as like space is concerned. In New York City, because we are confined, it's easier to control what stays open, what areas get congested, what areas get depopulated, and all those sorts of things. So because Cuomo, I personally believe, has been on a power trip, he's been able to, set up certain things to be closed, set up certain things not to be open, limit how many people can go into certain places. So I feel like because of that, they want to, say that, hey, New York has overcome this big hump. But another part of me, as a conspiracy theorist, I do know how people can manipulate information. And because New York City was once the epicenter, they had to find a way to reverse that. So they probably just either stopped testing people or they started putting out more negative tests. There's also a lot of there's a test that came out false. There's tests that people did that they were deemed as positive and they ended up coming out false. Even when the COVID-19 testing kit first came out, the president of USDA used the test on a pig and also another animal. I forgot the other animal he used, but he used it on a pig, and the test came back as positive. And so you're seeing how sometimes these tests can already show up as false. So the reason why I feel like New York may have lower cases, probably because they're not allowing anybody to really be anywhere. And also they're flooding the system with negative tests. So when you have a negative test already set up, you're going to have a negative result.
So I think this is one of the stories you might be talking about. This comes to us from MSN. It says state lab finds 90 positive COVID-19 test results were false. 90 people who received positive COVID-19 results did not have the virus, according to the State Department of Public Health. The Department of the State Public Health Laboratory uncovered a flaw in one of the testing systems it uses to test for SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. And 90 of 144 people tested between June 15th and July 17th received a false positive COVID test report. Many are nursing home residents. I'm not going to the whole thing, but that goes to speak to your point. I
just want to also say, in addition to that, during the quote unquote the height of the epidemic in New York City, there's a lot of things happening that people didn't put into situations. There were people who were dying that were diagnosed as COVID-19 when these people didn't even have tests. There was also people who were just showing up at the hospital with regular things that would happen in the day, like broken arms, broken knees, heart problems, and these people were labeled as COVID-19 patients when certain hospitals didn't even have the testing yet, and they were labeling people as positive COVID-19 people. So I felt like the numbers were fluctuated, and because there's such a huge demand for New York City to reopen, because New Yorkers are watching everyone else across the country reopen, I believe that the governor and the mayor and a lot of other officials in New York City, they knew that they needed to do something in order to, I guess, justify themselves in reopening, or else it was going to be an unrest.
Yeah, I seen a video of some white guys in Florida with Trump flags, on boats, talking about there's no corona on the water. J.Doug, you live in one of the states that I guess they're rolling back, things back into phase 1 or 2 or something like that. Can you elaborate? Can you tell us what's going on in Florida? We don't hear you. Your mic's on tap.
Yeah, they doing the whole mask thing, wear your mask, all that mess.
Are they back to phase 1 in Florida? What's going on there?
I don't know what was phase 1, lockdown and stuff.
I guess only go to get your necessities and wear a mask. Yeah.
Nah, people still people still going out partying, strip clubs still open. Stuff still popping, man. I'm telling you, they're gonna keep this COVID thing going to after election. They don't want the economy to bounce back, of course. They don't want Trump to get back in office, because the economy bounced back, then Trump gonna get the credit. They don't want that. So they trying to keep this shit going, trying to make more people feel the pain of this COVID thing. But it's whatever, man. I know a lot of people, like, shit, it been about 13, 14 people at my job test positive for COVID. You know what I mean? Nobody died. It's just been a whole... I test positive. Well, quarantine for 2 weeks, now you back on the street. That's it? He's like, come on now. It's like, seriously? What 2 weeks gonna do? So it's just a whole...
Yeah, a lot of people gonna die. I'm just letting y'all know, man. COVID's real. Like, a lot of people end up dead, fucking around. That's what's gonna happen.
So Keenan says it's getting bad in GA. It's time for another shutdown. He also says, Schoolboy, where you find them Sony Walkman headphones at?
At your mama's house. I found them at your mama's house. That's where I found them.
Come on, man. You go getting at his mama. Slim said Americans in general don't like being told what to do. Excuse me. This country inability to follow basic guidelines will be its downfall. So that brings me to one of my questions too. Like, do you feel we're spoiled as a country? Do you feel like we just we don't take well to orders, or
You know what I think it is? Like, people been telling people in America, this is a free country, this is a free country. They don't realize what that really means. But they say that, this is a free country. And so now when it comes time to, like, hey, if everybody will wear their mask and, like, we can stop the spread of the virus, they're like, no, nobody's gonna tell me what to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? First of all, if you have a high school diploma in this country, you're not that intelligent. Even if you have a college degree, you're not that intelligent, because I say that because of this. Our school system here in America is not that great.
It just means you know how to follow the rules.
Well, here's the thing. We can't even do that shit well. You know what I'm saying? You know how bad these kids are in these schools? You know what I'm saying? So my point is, I'm saying that to say this. Other countries are looking at this and they're like, damn, this is like really common sense. This is really common sense. People are not following these salute Keenan. People are not following these guidelines, and it's gonna kill a lot of people. And people are really out here like, man, that's my constitutional right to be a dumbass. Like, that's fucking terrible, man.
But that's the very reason why people flock to this country in droves. People come to this country because it is a free country, because you do have that choice. A lot of the times,
it's a free country in people's mind, but we also have the highest rate of incarceration, and we also have legalized slavery.
We have the resources to incarcerate people. We have the resources to have the number one incarceration rate across the nation. We can do it because we have the money and the resources to actually do those things. People flock to this country because they know it's a free country, and because they know that they can actually make their own choices and decisions. And I believe, honestly, when it comes to certain things like COVID-19, a lot of the government officials, they utilize situations like this just so they could enact the martial law that they wanted to enact anyways. A lot of the times, because of our constitutional rights, these governments don't have the power to do what they personally want to do. So now COVID-19 comes along. Now they say, hey, oh, yes, now we're shutting this down. We're not opening this up. And it's because I said so. Not because based on research, not because based on actual facts or anything that actually exists outside in the world with people. It's because of their personal feelings. For me, I personally feel like Governor Cuomo, he's on a power trip. He said the one reason that they won't open the gyms up is because the air conditioning can circulate the virus inside indoor places. I'm not saying that that's completely wrong, but if you have a liquor store open and you don't have a gym open, what are you actually trying to do? Gyms heal people, liquor stores don't. So if you're trying to really do the betterment of the people, that doesn't sound right.
Wait, you don't stay in the liquor store for 30 minutes breathing heavy?
People who play numbers do. people be in playing numbers like, oh, let me get 3, 6. They be in there all day, so you can't sit up here and single out certain things. And that's why when I realize that certain things are open and certain things are closed, there is a bigger agenda that they're not revealing. There is more to it that they're not saying.
All right, so most prisons are privatized. They aren't ran by the government.
Yeah, like slavery is legalized in this country.
That's not slavery.
According to the Constitution, it is. So, like I said, again, according to the Constitution, it is. So, slavery is legalized in this country, and it's sold on the stock market. It's literally a marketplace for slavery. It just really, literally is that way in this country.
Slavery, you don't have slavery is when you don't have a choice.
Okay, when you lose your freedom and you're in that pretrial detention, you losing a lot of choice, brother. You're losing a lot of choice.
No, you don't have a choice not to commit no crime.
Even if you're not guilty of the crime, even if you're not guilty of the crime, you're in pretrial and have not bonded out. You're in jail and you've lost your freedom. According to the Constitution, though, you know there are levels to freedom that you're going to lose based on that. And once you federalize, you're literally in what the Constitution calls slavery, legalized slavery. It is what it is. Like, people don't like to hear that fact, and because they also this is a free country. This is a free country. This ain't the freest country. That's according to the measurements of freedom, market freedom, personal freedom, social freedom, etc. This isn't the most free country in the world, and people don't realize that.
I get what you're saying. Like, obviously, it's humane to have limitations with freedom. Like, we legally can't say the word quote unquote fire or whatever the case may be. Like, that's an amendment to freedom of speech. There's always going to be amendments to things, but realistically, compared to other nations throughout the world, this seems like the free country. People come here to be able to be that and do that because they notice that there is a difference between here and their countries.
I hear you. People come here, right, because they know that there are little pockets of this country called the ghetto that are gold mines. That if you set up shop and open up the door, black people will come in and drop their money off for pretty much nothing.
That's not all time, because you got people who come to this country, they go to Montana. Some of these people who come to this country, they go to West Virginia. They go to the places.
They go to long story short, they go to the rural places where people who are not good with money and not smart with money will give them money for almost nothing. They come here and take money off the poor. Like that's cool. That's what happens in this country. It's a free country for that. Because the people that come over, for the most part, the people that come over here from a lot of other countries, they're not coming here poor. They're coming here with $10,000, $15,000 in hand. You know what I'm saying? They're not coming here penniless. Like that whole story about the penniless immigrant. The penniless immigrant is on his way back home when he gets deported. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
So this video right here comes for us from this past weekend, and you can actually watch it on our page on whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. And basically, I dubbed it Corona Fest 2020.
Where is this at?
This is in Steinway in Queens. And
Astoria.
Yeah,
hookah lounges.
Yeah, so basically, over this past weekend in New York, it was a general census of a lot of young people to go out there and just hang out, go to the lounges and just hit the strip. So I even seen some people that I know personally make jokes about it. And I know someone, you know, we had a person on the ground that goes by the name of K Stone, a music producer outside of from Queensbridge. And he was there filming it. And sometimes he had his mask on, but for the most part, it was on his ear. And as you can see, if I blow this up, nobody has a fucking mask on. So everybody's having fun.
Now it's crazy because Astoria is never this crowded. Not even on like a popping night. Like them streets never look like that.
We don't give a fuck, New York, nigga. We don't give a fuck about nothing out here. We don't give a fuck about nothing out here. We trying to tell y'all niggas. We're live. I'm 38. Let me see that bottle. Let's see what we doing.
So I play this just to show what it looks like right now in the city, and I'm sure in other cities, like you said, J.Doug, in Miami, I mean in Florida is not too different. I seen an article earlier with a bunch of Trump supporters going on boat rides and talking about there's no corona on the water. I mean, it just seems like it's the general census of the people that corona is over with. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's my COVID update for today. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people feel it's over with, and we're going to see what happens, and we're going to see if this shit was ever to be feared in the first place. Because between this and the, you know, the mass protests we just finished having, and people right now being restless and reclaiming the summer, and it being 1 out of every 10 people or more with a mask on and barely even wearing it right. Look at it, everybody of all, you know, ethnicities out there, no mask on, just chilling, sharing blunts, bottles, all that type of shit. You know what I mean?
And black people look the dumbest when they say they out having fun. I tell you that much. Oh, they're just standing around. Oh, we out here. Like, niggas don't even be doing nothing. Niggas just be standing around. You could do that shit on the front porch. Niggas just want to be out and stand around other people and meme up so somebody could get this shooting. I don't see what's the fun in. That's why I don't go nowhere. People like, man, we having fun. Then you go out, niggas just standing around. Motherfucker hardly even dance no more these days. You gotta worry about niggas standing around, meme mugging and doing dumb shit. Yeah, that look dumb. I mean, that just look dumb.
At least white people are on boats.
Yeah, white people having fun, dancing,
at least
doing their drugs. Niggas just be standing around ready to start some type of conflict. That's it.
Well, you know, salute to this man who was out here. He, you know, he's a admitted member of the Blood. He's talking about how he fuck with every gang and they was out there united. So I think some people have a different view on it. It seems like you're a little I want to say biased though when it comes to black people. I don't, you know, I think you like think the grass is greener on the other side though, J.Doug.
No, not saying that white people having fun, but I'm saying with white people to get together, it's more activity, it's fun. It just like look like black people, not to shit on it. That might be fun in black people, but I just know that that's how all the black events be nowadays. You know, back in the day it was more fun. Like, you know, black people back then used to have more fun at the event, dancing, having a good time. Now look at this. You got niggas just want to jump in the camera. It's a whole nothing show. And
honestly, I can agree with that because see, for me, I like to go out, I like to have fun, but this is not the type of shit that I do. A lot of people have always invited me to places and clubs and all those types of things. If I know it's going to be an environment where people just standing around looking at each other, I don't do that. I'm more so of a travel person. There's black people who do like to travel, who do like to have adventurous trips and stuff like that. There's black people who do engage in other activities other than standing around. Standing around is not my cup of tea. I'm too busy for that. I don't have time to just stand around and look at people.
I don't think black people have a monopoly on standing around. But go ahead, J.Doug.
These days, I think the standing around culture came from cell phones and everybody kind of focused on their phone or whatever. But I remember when I was younger, before the social media became such a big thing, I'm talking about maybe about 12 years ago. I'm talking about when I was 17, 18 going to clubs, maybe about 10 years ago. People used to actually go places dancing, having fun. You don't see that no more. Especially when you go to these black events. It's just all standing around. It's just nothing. That's why it's always fighting. That's why it's always shooting. It's not doing nothing. Everybody, women acting like they too cute. They don't want to dance. And if they do dance, they'll just dance with their homegirl. And then, I got these niggas trying to. It's just dumb.
But no, I think
stuff is dumb. I'm sorry.
That was the case for New York too. I mean, over time, I think generations change things, because even when I was a teenager and I was younger, before I even went to college, when I was in New York, you know, we had places like Seabreeze, Empire Skating Ring. We had several places where people were dancing, but that's not the case. You go to a club in New York now, like, it's very rare that people are going to be dancing with each other. Very rare.
And that nigga in that video look all over 30 years old, still in there talking about something. Yeah, we out here. That look dumb. I'm sorry.
Well, salute to my nigga K-Stone for allowing us to use the video. Virginia Slim says slavery is abolished except as punishment for a crime. 13th Amendment. Speaking to the schoolboy's point earlier today. And Franchise Catering says this is my type of carrying on. And then, I mean, I want to make a case for our people, but look at this idiot on the bus stop right there.
And like, yo, let's go out here and just do nothing.
Bloody East Side, all my bloodies just popping in. Word. East Side, all my bloodies just popping in. But look at it, it's a movie out here. You heard?
It's a movie out here.
It's a fucking movie. This is definitely a fucking movie out here.
What are y'all doing?
Definitely a fucking movie.
Monkey shit.
699 Enron problem. Nah. That's that own man problem. He gonna get here. East side us, nigga, you know that shit. Keystone, you just think, roll some gangster, bloody. Man, East side, bloody. Already, Mr. Oh, word? East side, bloody. Man, you stay over 50, man. Niggas know that shit, bro. We out here. Come on, son. Go game.
So yeah, that was New York this weekend. You know what I'm saying? I
bet it was.
And yeah.
Salute to the blacks.
My Corona update is that nobody gives a fuck anymore. It doesn't seem like, you know what I mean? So I think we're gonna really know what time it is really soon, because nobody gives a fuck. So I labeled this, like I said, on the YouTube page, Corona Fest 2020. Feel free to watch the whole video. It's a little entertaining. I also subtitled it The Second Wave. You know what I mean? So it seems like we're gonna definitely hit a second wave of this, if this shit is really that serious. What's your take though, J.Doug? You was on some, I don't think we should have masks on and all that. Do you think the corona shit is that real, or is that something to be worried about? What's your thoughts on that before we wrap?
I think people shouldn't be out there doing that just to like make sure somebody get it. But other than that, I don't want to have it in me. But I don't want to, start stopping stuff just because people getting sick and all this mass stuff. Like, it's just craziness, man. What is they doing? I don't know. But if it's corona that bad, send my next stimulus check. All right, it can't be too bad. Y'all ain't sent my check. You know what I mean? Oh, it's bad. It's bad. It's the worst thing ever.
Where my money?
What's taking so long to get the check out then? Since it's so bad. See, motherfuckers like to pick and choose when stuff is bad. That's why I don't like it. Too much picking and choosing. It's not bad enough for you to send me my check. I can't stay home unless I get a check. What the fuck are you talking about?
Vanessa, what's your thought?
Too much stuff that don't make sense.
I think that all of these people are crazy, but because we are in the country of America, they do have a right to be out there. I'm just not going to be out there with them. I have other things to do. It's not even based on corona. If this coronavirus thing was not happening, I would still not be out there. That's just not my kind of thing. I am not in that place in my life where I want to stand around. No, I am busy doing things, so I cannot stand around. So I can be in places I've never seen before. And so I think that it's really, really important that these people try to think about that.
Keenan says niggas gonna be swag surfing to the second wave. Shaking my head. So yeah, but my question though is, do you think is that real though? You know, so Vanessa though, I'm asking you that. What do you think? Like, do you think that is something to be fed? You feel me? Like, do you think is we're going to get a second wave? Do you think it's blown out of proportion? Because
I don't think that the government is not trying to make a second wave. They are absolutely putting things together so that there is a second wave that's going to be happening. I just think that honestly, when it comes to things in life, you know, I'm not really religious or anything like that, but God is the person who controls everything. God is the person who creates people's destiny. And my mindset for me personally, I say this: if something's bound to happen to me, I can't control that. Whatever's bound to happen to me will. I'm going to live my life according how I've always done, which is washing my hands, making sure that I'm clean and the surfaces that I touch are clean. And that's all you truly can do. I mean, truth be told, people say that they wear masks and they think that the masks are going to save them. I get it. Sometimes it does in certain situations and sometimes it can't. Because truth be told, you have to still take off the mask. You're still going to come into contact with the air that people are going to have. So it's some things I feel like are not really controllable, but at the same time, the places that you put yourself in can be controllable.
Right.
And I want to say real quick.
Yeah, God.
I want people to keep copies of the videos like this, just in case this COVID-19 thing in the future turn out to be real. I don't want to hear black people blaming white people, talk about, oh, they was the reason why we got the COVID. I want to keep videos. I want people to see this is how we would carry on during the COVID-19. We didn't give a fuck. We was on the block chilling you, because all this stuff will get lost when we trying to go to the government, telling them, well, the government didn't prepare us for the COVID. We was talking, they wasn't giving us masks in the hood. It'll be all type of excuses when it comes down to stuff. So I just want to keep track of these type of videos.
Let's not forget about the Trump supporters running around screaming in people's faces, talking about we shouldn't wear masks. Let us not forget about.
No, I want to keep control of those videos.
Hold on. Let's not forget about the white kids that were in the college COVID parties that we spoke about the other day, where they actually gambled on who was going to get COVID first. They was actually betting on it.
Oh, so, yeah, I just want to focus. I was just focusing on what we're talking about now. That's it. But yeah, we get them too. But yes, we got to mention white people when we talk about black people, of course. But go ahead.
I mention people in general. We can't.
We can't be tit for tat. I didn't want black people to keep it. I was just speak for black because I'm black. I didn't want us to keep this on hand for when the complaining start. I wanted to go back and look at this so we won't start blaming other people looking crazy. I wanted to say, damn, we should have been more responsible ourselves. Look at us. That's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say
respect taking responsibility for our own, but at the same time, we can't always say we the crazy ones and they not. Like,
I didn't say we were crazy. I'm just saying I wanted to keep
earlier we talk about like basically making it seem like we the only ones who have parties where people standing around, or we the only ones that, you know, have these ridiculous type, you know, social gatherings. Like, that's not the case. You feel me? So like that's why I reference to you maybe thinking the grass is greener on the other side. You feel me? So
no, I don't want to be white. I don't think white people have fun. Everybody know white people corny. Everybody know white people fun ain't really that fun. But I'm just saying, I don't like those particular social gatherings where people just standing around. I just noticed that goes on a lot these days. That's why I don't go out. That's the only point I was making. And that happens a lot at these black social events. I just think they're dumb. That's it. And then what's the point of going out? You got the music so damn loud. You can't just like pull up and just like talk to somebody. You got to yell at a motherfucker. You just like, I don't get it. Maybe I'm out the loop on it, but it just seemed dumb to me. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm definitely wise on where I choose to hang out, but in their defense of what we just saw, it seems like it was a certain type of time of night where they just wasn't ready to go home, so they took the party to the streets. I mean, but what they call parking lot pimping. But yo, I want to thank my co-host for sticking with the show. We ran over a little later than what we usually do. I want to thank the audience for watching the morning rant. We're gonna come back with the 10th episode, and salute to J.Doug, Vanessa Smilez, Schoolboy. Salute to my co-host. Salute to everybody watching. And this has been the morning
Rizant.
Hey.